Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have Coach Dana. We have
Oh,
Aggie from St. Croix in the building. I am just excited that we can come. Earlier we had Versity's presentation, but I wanted us to come on today to really gauge and have a conversation. I think that this has been missed for quite a while. We had Alicia Cannon, which is the CEO, the founder and chief science officer of Versity, sharing about fibroids the last few
yes,
session. And I wanted to come on because yesterday, Dana, you and I had a conversation with two wonderful queens, and
yes.
they brought me to tears. And Aggie, she and I have had so many conversations, but she actually opened up and shared a personal story about her having a hysterectomy. And I
Mm.
really wanted to get that moment for us to come and just talk. And Dana, our experience yesterday was mind blowing. We
Phenomenal.
did not know that these two ladies had fibroids or also had a hysterectomy. How did that make you feel hearing their story and hearing their truth when it comes to their personal space?
I've known Nikki. I've known one of the young ladies, I don't want to say her name, for some time, and I did not know her experience. We've done so many things together on business wise, but I did not know her true, authentic story. And it just blew me when she just opened up and just shared her experience and how she had to go through the bleeding and the suffering. And then to hear the other woman tell us with her two daughters present, her two adult daughters, that because it was a lack of knowledge that caused her to lose her womb. Had she been educated
Mhm.
in the way that we are being educated and the way that we're going to educate, had she known what she knows now, she would have held on to her womb. And it just broke my heart to hear her story. And I have another friend, she was 24, 20, and one was 26 when they lost their womb
Mm.
due to hysterectomy.
Yes.
And they had no clue of where to turn other than the doctor say, you must do this procedure. And I want everybody to know there's some time where you may come to that place where you have to, but seek out additional knowledge, information before you take that leap. We're not doctors and we can't tell you what to do. We can just advise you with what we know and what we're going to be learning when we become certified as
Yes.
wombologists, herbalists, as well as doulas. And so I am super excited. And I want to thank Miss Agatha ahead of time for coming on and be willing to share her experience, share her journey and from her heart. And I know that you're going to touch me. I'm a little crybaby, but I was crying last night. It was just too much. And so I'm super excited about what we're venturing. We are on a movement. This is not a business. This is not to coerce you or tell you what to do, but we're on a movement and we're looking for people who are interested in taking action and moving towards healthier wombs. Okay?
Yes. Wow, wow, wow. And I love it. I love that. I've been in the industry of multi-level marketing, direct sales, or I say people helping people business since 1999. And for the first time, Dana, for the first time, Aggie, I find this is not a business.
No.
It's a movement. I believe that when you look at where we are going and what we have in our hands, we went on a conference call yesterday expecting to answer questions from these ladies. We went on a call to see if they were interested in joining the movement, not knowing not one, but both the ladies
Hmm.
were suffering in silence. One is still suffering in
Yes.
silence from fibroids. And the other was in tears in front of her twin daughters saying, because of the lack of knowledge, my womb was taken.
Thank you.
When she said that, I just cried because so many of us just like Aggie, at the young age in her 20s, early
Mm.
20s. It was it early 20s?
30s.
Early 30s, had to get her womb taken. So I'm going to bring to the stage Miss Aggie from St. Croix. This woman is knowledgeable. She has a heart for people. And what I love about her is that she is not only has a heart for people, but she loves her mom to the point where she had to pick up her stuff from the U.S. Well, from here over here. Where did you come from? Was it Texas?
Virginia.
Virginia,
Virginia.
Virginia, and left to go back to St. Croix to stay with her mom. That takes a heart for
Yes.
somebody to leave their comfort of their home to say, you know what, mommy needs me. So she has that she's full of love, full of care, and full of knowledge. So I want you to come on and share with us. Tell us your story. How did you lose your womb in your early 30s?
Well, let me just kind of let you know I will be 65 this year. Okay.
Blessings. Blessings.
And I was in the military. But when I first started with my periods, I was living in New York. That's where I'm from, Manhattan. And when the pain hit me, it knocked me down to the street. I didn't know what was going on. And by the time I got back home, I went to the bathroom and I saw the blood. And I told my mother, I said, Mommy, I think I started my period. Now, I don't remember what age I was, but all I heard her say was, oh, no, like that. And you got to keep in mind back then, we didn't have tampons. All we had was these Kotex, and they were big and they were huge. And all you had was a belt that you had to snap the pads into. So that was uncomfortable. And, at a young age, you don't understand what's going on. Now, I think, Melissa, we talked about our parents didn't really share about, periods and puberty, and now you're a woman, you can get pregnant. We never had that discussion, never had that kind of talk ever. But I was a reader, and I kind of learned in school and, on my own. But as we move forward, I always had heavy periods, always had heavy periods. And me being in the medical field, been in the medical field for 43 years, we wore whites. Okay. So, if you cough or you sneeze, you better go check yourself,
Mhm.
And it just got to the point where while in the military, now I'm in foxholes, I'm out in these, I call it outhouse, but you know what I'm talking about. You're out there with the men and all this stuff. And, we didn't have tampons. So, I'm getting dressed, I'm putting on bra panties, and I always had laid out pads because I never knew when I was going to have a period. When I found out what was going on, I told the doctor. I was 32 by then, and I was out of work. I worked 12-hour shifts, and if you're out for 12-hour shifts, that equates to 2 shifts. And you only
Yes.
get so much sick time each year. So I had exceeded my limit of sick time, which was affecting my evaluation.
Wow.
And at that time, I said, I can't do this no more. I just couldn't. And we were raised strict Catholic, so you don't have kids before marriage. So that I wasn't going to do that. I was going to be a single parent. So there I was making that decision, and the doctor said, well, let's wait. Let's wait 6 months. And I said, I don't really want to wait, but I will. And do you know, for 6 months I didn't get a period.
Wow.
The morning of surgery, my period came. And I looked up at God and I said, you play too much. You just play too much,
He's a funny character.
Very, very much so, right? But they told me in me doing that, it actually kept me from going through menopause.
Wow.
But, it was the suffering and the bleeding and the cramping. And, I was taking Motrin 800 milligrams like the week before, just so the cramps would, and I'm in the military. I can't be out sick.
Yeah.
Then I get out the military, I'm at a regular job, and I had one good day out of the month. One good day between the spotting, because you didn't ever know when you're going to have a period. It was if spotting maybe 1 or 2 days, and then your period was back on. So it just got so to the point where it was just so depressing. It was painful and messed with your moods. You had mood swings, and people liked being around me because I used to make them laugh. And I said, man, you pick up the slack. you got to pick up the slack because I can't do it today, you know. So it was
Wow.
very hard. It was very, very hard. And even to now, I can't even watch commercials about pads and all that stuff. I turn the channel because it was
Wow.
just so, you know, you talk about PTSD. It was so hard to juggle that, you know. And then I said, man, I wish I had had maybe one child, you know, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, God knew that that probably wasn't, you know, where I was supposed to go. But it's a hard thing when you can't talk about it. And you really can't discuss it with people, you know, who wants to talk about that? You know, it's always like a hush hush thing, you know. So
and and that's what I love about our sisterhood that we're forming.
Yes.
We are creating a safe space where
Yes.
people can feel strong enough and confident enough that when they share their story, they will be embraced with love and not judgmental,
Yes.
right? And not be afraid to say, I am suffering and
Yes.
I need to speak about it. Because when we talk about these things, it empowers us, but it also allows somebody else to draw strength from our experience,
Yes. And
right?
you know, one thing I love about your story is that it was a journey,
mhm,
you know, just starting at a young age, getting your period, didn't even know what was going on. And then going into your adult stage of life and seeing this and feeling this heavy bleeding and not knowing what to do and being at work, just the shame alone, can't wear white,
mhm,
you
mhm,
know, can't wear a certain color that's light
mhm,
because you just
mhm,
never know. And it's like,
mhm,
to me, that keep your body in anxiety mode because you don't never know
mhm,
what's going to happen. So
Right.
mhm.
how did you mentally, because to me that's psychological, how did you mentally, you know, operate or function on a monthly basis leading up to the fact that when the doctor said, you know what, the only other option right now is to have a hysterectomy? How did you mentally get yourself together in that stage?
Well, I was athletic, so that kind of helped, you know, staying active in sports. But I guess it was the grace of God, really, because I mean, who else are you going to give it to? You know, um, I worked a lot, you know, so I just had to deal with it month to month. I had to deal with it, and when I didn't have periods, I was happy. I mean, I was just as happy as I could be, you know.
I can
But
imagine.
it's really, you know, really and truly, what can you do? You know, you can't drink because you know that makes it worse. You know, but no, I'm being serious now. But
No drinking.
no drinking. That's the worst thing you can do. That's the worst thing you can do. But no, you know, I look back now and I really, that's really a hard question to answer. I just took each day. You know, you
So
just,
what
you,
did,
You are a
when you
soldier.
think about just that, like, I've never had a hysterectomy, right? But
okay.
what what did it do? What did it do to you? Did you feel a sense of relief? Did you feel, what was the feeling like? I know it's an odd question, but was it a sense of relief? Was it a sense of regret? Was it a sense of, did I really do the
Anger.
right thing? Like, what was that feeling?
Well, I went through the, you know, the emotional roller coaster, knowing that it was finite. No kids now. Now you definitely can't have kids.
Wow.
Um, joy, you know, I don't have to deal with this anymore. You know, then saying, man, I wish I had, you know, had a child.
Mhm.
But I was happy really after I had it done, just because of all the bleeding and pain that I went through. And I said, I don't think I want to pass out of football at this point, you know, because it was just such a miserable time. You know, that's a long time to be unhappy, you know, with just dealing with that, you know. So it was kind of relief for me. I know that's probably not a good thing to say, but I just couldn't do it anymore. So I said, just do partial, leave my ovaries. There's nothing wrong with them.
Okay.
And at that time, they did find the fibroid. And actually, at the same time, I had two surgeries that same day. They did a needle loke on my breast. There was a piece of tissue there they kept seeing on the mammogram, so they decided they would take it out. And I said, well, just do two surgeries at the same time.
Wow.
Right.
And so they did the breast first, and then the doctors left, and then the GYN came in, and they did what they had to do. And I was just, it was a done deal. But what I did, I'm gonna tell you what I did do. I said, let me join and be a big sister. So I
Oh,
joined the big sister group, and I had a young lady that was very indigenous. It was a very bad situation, but I stuck with it for a whole year. And after that year, I was cured, the kind of way. But I did try because I was a little bit, you know, I didn't have a child, but you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Wow. Michelle from Facebook says so many other women have the same story, but makes more determined was but makes more determined to empower with education. It's so true. I believe that we have to begin to speak about it. And I applaud you, Aggie. I applaud you for even stepping out. Was
Right.
this has this is this the first platform that you've been on that you were able to share openly
Yep.
this information?
It is. It is because I put it in the past.
okay.
I 30, we're looking at 30 something years, and I just put it in the past. And then after you started talking about, hearing what you were discussing, I says, man, finally,
Hmm.
somebody's talking about something.
Wonderful.
My mother's 87, will be 87 years old. They weren't taught certain things. The generational discussions wasn't there. The education wasn't there. The technology wasn't there,
Yes.
And we're
and the
told
doctor, the doctor told me, they said, well, once you have your first child, you'll stop at the cramping. And that's not necessarily true.
Mm-mm.
Hmm. And we're told to be ashamed of those things, that there's
Mm.
something wrong. Do you remember in the Bible there's the woman that had the issue of blood
Yeah.
and she was
Mhm.
scorned. And so we have that same mindset when it comes to things of women, what bothers us, what we endure, and it's not easy. You know,
Mhm.
having a cycle at an early age, having to worry about the shame of somebody knowing that you're on your cycle, and
Mhm.
then being fearful that it's going to leak over, and then there goes your secret. Everybody
Mhm.
knows,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Understand
that's
what you're
true.
saying when you said it was a relief.
Mhm.
Not so much relief that that you wouldn't be able to have any children. That wasn't the
Mm.
relief. The
No.
relief was no more suffering, no more
Yeah.
bleeding, no more
Right.
anxiety about what you're going to experience from
Mhm.
time to time.
Yeah.
And so I get the sense of relief.
Yes.
And I get the need or the feel that something was missing from your life to a degree because you did not experience motherhood.
Wow.
Correct.
Wow.
God
Wow.
has a way of bringing things full circle.
Yes, he
You may
does.
not have been a mother from your womb,
Mm.
the care and the love that you shared with others.
Yes.
You mothered.
Yeah, we
And
mother.
now you're in a position where you have to now mother mom, right?
Yes.
Because he needs you.
Yes.
So God is a funny little man. Sometimes he's a funny man.
Well, he said once a man, twice a child, right?
True. True. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I look at your story as a story that needs to be told. And I believe that sometimes people don't realize that our pain birth with purpose. You didn't know that a year ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, a month ago, that you're going to be on a stage talking about what happened to you 30 years ago.
That's right.
And I tell people that sometimes our pain that birth forth a purpose need to be told because you never know whose life you're going to touch. Who's who else want to say, I want to be an Aggie. I want to share my truth. I remember the first time I shared about my stillborn son, Caleb. I did not know my neighbor that I've known for about 13 years, knew this lady, talked to her, did business with her, never knew she also had a miscarriage, and had also had to suffer, also knowing that her child, her son at the time, she said she couldn't tell anybody. She said, Melissa, after 30 plus years, you brought this up and I can heal from it. She said, you had me in tears because it brought back memory and it allowed me to heal. And this is what you're doing for someone out there in this world. We're on live on YouTube. We're live on both of the Facebook and Women Emerge Network, as well as Florida and beyond. You're live on all three platforms and you're sharing your truth. You're sharing about your space. And I'm so thankful that you can come on and say, listen, I suffered in silence, but I had to make a decision. And that decision allowed me I had to tell my womb, but I'm not suffering anymore. So thank you. If you would like, if you could do me a favor, there are some ladies right now that are listening that has fibroids right now. They're bleeding very heavily. They are thinking about having a hysterectomy, but they're holding back because they don't know. They're hesitant. What would be your advice to them?
Well, you do have to go with some medical, you know, education, but the ultrasound, okay, will tell you, the size and different things about the fibroid. Um, I understand from what you all are doing, you have products that actually can help. So, I mean, there's other alternatives out there. It's all depends on what you want to do. People can have children with fibroids. It just depends on how big they are and where they're located. So I would first say, have a good talk with your doctor, have an ultrasound done, and just discuss your concerns about wanting to have children. And, you know, it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice. But that's where I would start.
Wow. Wow.
I feel, I'll share my story another time, but I've been in that place where I had to consider whether I was going to do the hysterectomy. And I decided for me, although I've had my children, that I came here with it and I'm leaving with it. And so I was able to connect with a wombologist that helped me through another issue, but allow me to understand that I'm now in a bubble. I'm in a womb versity bubble where I will learn about changing what I put in my body that can create the issues with the fibroids, what to do to take care of myself and my optimal health, but it also starts with my emotions.
Yes.
Because I don't think people understand that a lot of our issues are emotions.
Yes.
They start from an emotional place, right? Whether it's sadness, depression, anger, whatever you're going through emotionally, because you have not dealt with that thing, it forms foreign bodies inside of you because it's all bundled up. And if you see sometimes the fibroids are like grapes and they build and that is building on top of building on top of building on top of building. So you have to take care of yourself. And women, we tend not to take care of ourselves. We take care of everybody else and we neglect. Now, I would say, I remind people, when you go on the airplane and they said, if you have a child next to you, don your mask first and then help the child, right? Because you'll be no good to that child if you're going down and you can't breathe and you're panicking, right?
Yes.
So take care of yourself. So it's the same thing. And I came into 2022 saying, I am going to take care of myself. I put away everything for everybody. I think about other people's feelings and what they want first before I think of myself. And I neglect myself. And I said, no more.
Yes.
Even my dad said he's waiting. He's excited to see the new me that is going to take care of me. and worry about me and take care of my feelings and my emotions and things like that. So, sisters, I want you to know you're not alone. We have people who genuinely care about you and want what's best for you. And here in our womb versity's bubble, you will be embraced and loved
Yes.
through your pain, through your healing, and through your redemption song, because be redeemed. You're going to sing your own redemption song when you get to that place. And it's a journey, and it's going to take time, and it's going to take us becoming wombologists
Mhm.
and herbalists to help you through that process. And
Yes.
you're in a great space. It's 2022 is it.
Yeah.
It's it.
Yeah. I love that, Dana, because we are in this together.
Yes.
And we have to get out the mindset of crabs in a bucket. We got to get out the mindset, oh, she's trying to get up on me. No. Our goal as a community is to see us work together to be able to first educate. The Bible tells us the people perish because of what?
Lack of
Lack of
knowledge.
knowledge. If you
Hmm.
don't know better, you can't do better.
Yeah.
So we got to be able to first educate each other on the
Yes.
best things for our body, to release all those things that are causing us dis-ease.
Yes.
What's causing us dis-ease are these products that we're using on our bodies. So
Yes.
we have to be able to say, you know what? I'm gonna listen to Dana. I'm gonna listen to Aggie. I'm gonna listen to Melissa because we all are in this together. And it's time for us to say no more, sis. No more suffering in silence because enough is enough. Today, Aggie from St. Croix came on this channel to share her truth. At a young age, 65 years young, she's beautiful as could be, and she's bold as can be, and she's enjoying herself. But now she's at the place where she's about to raise that mantle and say, listen, I've been where you've been. And I
Mhm.
had suffered long enough that I had to take out a part of me because I had to. But there is products, there is a company like University that exists for you to give you the knowledge, the know-it-all, knowing that we're training up people to learn about your womb called wombologists. We're training up herbalists. We're training up doulas, people that to be able to say, listen, you're not doing a business, it's a movement. Let's march out to help each other. So I believe in where we are and where we're going. And I stand on the belief that God doesn't, they always say God don't give you more than you can bear. But what he does do is he give you the pain that you can use to turn into purpose. Right?
Yes.
So whatever your pain is, whatever your suffering is, guess what? It's for your good. It's for your good. You don't see it right now. Aggie didn't see it when she was in her 30s that, oh my gosh, this is going to be for my good. But when it happened, she said, wow, I ain't suffering no more. I feel better. Like, understand something, ladies. As we suffer in silence, guess what? Somebody else is suffering with you. You may not know it. Your girlfriend may be having the same problem, but she's ashamed. She doesn't have a platform. She doesn't have a space. She doesn't have a group of people to be able to say, can I talk about it? Can I share? Because somebody else can say, I understand your pain. I understand your purpose. I understand where you are and I understand where you're going. So I will say this again. Aggie, thank you. Thank you for starting this process by sharing. And I can't wait for you to bring this movement to St. Croix because
Hey,
so many ladies, we're about to open up this conversation and say, let's talk.
Yes.
that's
Yes.
right.
Let's know that you're not alone. We
For
all
sure.
suffer in silence. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Miss
Mm.
Aggie. And it was a pleasure to have met you and to hear your story. Thank you for being so strong, so bold, and being willing to share, not be selfish and hide your experience. Regardless of how painful it is, you came forth, you birthed your truth. You birthed the ability to share that I have had this experience and I have conquered it, right? Because it didn't
Yeah.
steal who you were, it didn't change who you were. There were some adjustments that you had to make, but
Mhm.
it strengthened you.
It did.
And I thank you for sharing from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Well, I thank you for having me. You know, we need to be in. We need to, reach out to our people.
Yes.
Mhm.
And when I say our people, I'm not talking race and all that. I'm talking about our people on a whole. And we need to start joining links. There's a business that I'm in. I met Melissa that way. Never met her personally. Never really talked to her before, and had a dream about her a few weeks back. And that's when I texted her and I said, I had a dream about you last night. And this is why I'm here now, because of that
Wonderful.
dream.
Wonderful.
So you just don't know in joining with your people in your community, just in your home and your family.
Hmm.
We've got to start looking out for one another. It
Yes.
used to be a village raised a child, and now we're just wandering out there. And it's time. It's really time now that we start helping one another and being truly true about who we are, what our purpose is, why we're doing what we're doing, where do we want to go, what's the next level, get out of this
Mhm.
rut and
Yes.
start being the people, the kings and queens that we were meant to be. So
Amen.
on that note,
Wow.
yeah,
Michelle says,
Wonderful.
thank you so much for this forum. It is truly a blessing to be able to be on this type of forum and share that space as well. Somebody else says, so many other women. Let me just see who that is. So many other women have the same story, but we may, oh, that's the same Michelle. Michelle said that. But we thank you all for listening. I mean, again, we are here to serve on purpose.
Yes.
We want you to know that, it's okay. Ladies, it's okay to talk about it. We are creating this space for you. We have Women Emerge Network on Facebook group. We have the Florida and Beyond Versity platform, and also Women Emerge Network YouTube channel, where you can actually come in and feel safe to share your information, because you never know. You never know who is actually watching you, who is actually listening, and who's actually learning, and who you're actually blessing. So we got to reach out to each other. Aggie said it best. It took a village to raise a child. For us now in this season, it takes a village to help each other. So we got to rise to the occasion. Take our rightful place. Know that we're not, people get scared like, oh God, here they go again with another business. Oh, they selling something. Absolutely. We selling your truth. We selling you. We selling purpose. We selling destiny. We selling legacy. We selling change. We're selling that you can be all that you can be, and you can also stop suffering in silence. That's what we selling. So I want you to know that. Okay, Dana, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dana.
Now, we're also helping to educate your children. We want you in a place where you can speak to your girls, even your boys, and educate them. We don't want them to repeat the same things that we have repeated from our parents and the parents before that. And so we want you to start looking at your children and saying to them, this is what's happening. This is what can happen to you. This has happened to me and my experience. And don't be afraid to share this with your children because they deserve to know. Just like you would have wanted to know at this age, you said, wow, I wish I knew. Right. And when my dear friend yesterday, she said she wished she had the knowledge.
Mhm.
You have the knowledge, you have the tool. Get the knowledge, connect with us so that you can be empowered and educated so that you can pass that on to your children and they can pass that on to your grandchildren.
Yes.
Because it's time to stop that cycle. You keep going around this circle on the roundabout. There's got to be a place that you jump off the roundabout and say enough. Enough is enough. And so we want to give you that safe space to feel that you can do that and be confident that your truth is not going to be laughed at. You're not going to be judged because it's a judgment-free family.
Yes.
And that's the only way that we're going to learn is through each other's story.
Wow. Well, it's a blessing and a privilege to be able to be here with you ladies on today. I'm so excited that we can say our greatest your health is your greatest wealth. We can sit here and be able to speak on something that is so personal but so healing as well. I hope you were blessed. I hope that you received some information that empowers you to say, you know what, just like Aggie, I can speak my truth. Just like Dana, I can speak my truth. Just like Melissa, I can speak my truth. So here I am, Melissa Lambert from Lake Mary, Florida. We have Dana Johnson from Connecticut. We have Miss Aggie from St. Croix. And we are doing it up here at Wombversity because we believe that you can protect your space. We believe you can save your womb. And we want you to be educated first about things that you're putting on your body. So we're going to come back again tomorrow. So far, I'm hoping that we're still going to be live at 3 p.m. with the founder and the chief science officer, Miss Alicia Cannon. She should be coming back on to part 2 to talk about fibroids. And we're going to just go deeper in conversation tomorrow. So join us again live here on our channel with Women Emerge Network, Florida and Beyond University, and Women Emerge Network YouTube. Join us here again tomorrow. Should be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm excited for this information to be shared. So I want you to know we love you. So Dana, any last words? Miss Aggie, any last words?
Peace and blessings. I pray that something that was said resonates with you. I pray that tonight you can lay down in your bed and thank God for the opportunity to hear that we have a forum that's going to just love on you and that's going to listen to your pain. And that we're going to empower you to go out and empower others through your pain. And your pain will become your purpose.
Go ahead, Miss Aggie. Last words.
Well, I just want to say thank you again for inviting me. It's great to be able to tell my story, being the first time I've ever done this. And it's like a relief because I know it's educational for others. And I'm just glad you guys are here.
Wonderful.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Well, God bless you all. Thank you so much. And thank you for trusting us, Miss Aggie. Thank you for trusting us with your personal story today. We appreciate you wholeheartedly. Yes. And I know many of the ladies that are watching want to say thank you as well. So until next time, y'all, we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care and take charge.
Good night.